So Devashish is having his lunch with a dairy milk chocolate. That is the breaking news that we can give you at the start of the show. Don't advertise the product. Devashish said
It
he's
is so
having.
hot, Buryada. It is so hot, Buryada, that a chocolate has melted down.
Yeah, and that is actually a question. If you see a couple of tweets, Australia has got in Matthew Kuhneman to come and help out with the nets. What does that tell you? I mean, will spin play a part in Brisbane? I was seeing photographs of 38-year-old Matthew Kuhneman in the Australia nets today. We are all talking about a green Gaba. We are talking about a green wicket. Gargi, Shomik, Devashish joins us. Shubhan and Rohit Juglan will join us soon. Look at these photographs. But is this a kind of protection because of the baking heat? Otherwise, will this track crack up? Is that something that the curator knows, which is why he's kept this extra bit of grass, which he will trim over the next couple of days? Will that kind of be something that the Indians will need to keep in mind? Which leads me to my first question. Who's that? Rohit Juglan also joins us. He's had his lunch. Hopefully, he's had something better to eat than a chocolate. Shubhan also joins us. Devashish has just had a chocolate for lunch. Hopefully, you both have got something better to eat. But the question that I'm asking is this layer of grass a kind of protection from the heat? Otherwise, would this track have broken down? And does that kind of bring in Ravindra Jadeja big time into play? Shubhan, why don't you take a first crack before I go to Devashish as he settles down with his chocolate and then Rohit and some of the others?
I'm also running out of battery, so I don't know how long I can hang in around. But I'm trying. I'll try to defend as many balls as possible here, and at least negate the first session. But yes, absolutely, you are spot on. But I was having a word with some of the Aussie journalists, regular cricket reporters here as well, and they were saying we would be lucky to have a day 4 game if there's a rain on day 1. So they are all geared up for a 3-day finish, given the kind of pitch and how it is being prepared, the layer of grass, and it is scary for the batters. If you are a batter and if you go and have a look at that pitch, you will feel a bit intimidated, and that's what I think the Aussies are trying to do, scare the Indian batters. They are already, not all of them are going through a good run of form, so they want to scare the opposition batters, Indian batters, and but that could be a double-edged sword if it's a lively pitch, which I am expecting it to be, at least for the first couple of days. If it's a fiery, lively, spicy pitch, then I think it's a complete lottery. Anyone can go on and win this match, and it will depend on which bowling team does well with the new ball and utilize the new ball properly. In Adelaide, we saw the Indian bowlers, besides Jasprit Bumrah, lack that consistency, and that is where they will have to go back to the drawing board and relook at their plans, what they did in Perth. That is what they need here at the Gaba as well, to bowl at consistent line, to bowl at that 5 meter, 6 meter length, which can cause trouble for the Aussie batters. And if India can do that, if India manage to do that with the new ball, especially in the first 30 overs, then I think it's game on and it will be anybody's game. The first 30 overs with the new ball, I think, will play a very, very crucial role. And that is where the game will be decided. Whichever team bats well, whichever team bowls well, at least in the first 30 session, will take the game, in my opinion. But I don't think there's a lot of cracks underneath this, because it's only one Sheffield Shield game has been played this season in this pitch, in this stadium, and they have kept it as fresh as possible. And this is the pre-Christmas, the copy which I wrote yesterday, the pre-Christmas phase of at the Gaba. Shows that the bowling team, the Pacers especially, dominate here, and it has been in the last couple of years. Gaba has produced some lively pitches, so I don't think we will see a day 5 action once again. Day 4 is the maximum where the game will finish, considering how the pitch is being prepared, Boryada.
Devashish, I'll come to you on the same question, but Himadri Shekhar Chakraborty views on Manoj Tiwari. What is this? Manoj Tiwari? What? I didn't see it. Views on Manoj Tiwari's reaction on favoritism in the Indian team, bias against Bengal players Ishwaran and Akashdeep being continuously ignored. Is this the Bengal bias still on? Listen, Manoj is a friend of ours, but Manoj is a Bengal politician. Let's leave it at that. Devashish, send your thoughts. Your
Yeah,
thoughts not on
Boryada.
this one, not on this one,
No,
on the Gaba wicket and the larger question, not on this
I,
one.
I, I totally agree with Shubhan, because considering that, I think it will be the wicket is lot fresher, means and it's and on and that cover of grass. I don't see there will be too much of help for the spinners. Yes, the fast bowlers will get a lot of help. We saw what Samar Joseph did on this wicket last time. There was a test match being played here, and yes, and this pitch does have some juice in it. Means going by the look of it, yeah, there a lot of discussion around, means how this wicket will go on, means and there are already talks in Australian media. But I was with Suvan when he was having a word with the Australian journalists, and they were also of the same view that this match might as well get over in 3 4 days. And if and yes, it will depend. No, there is a general view that win the toss and bowl fast on this wicket, because the conditions are so heavily in favor of the fast bowlers. You utilize the toss by bowling fast and bowling out the opposition for as low a total as you can. But yes, obviously, going by the nature of the wicket, I think it will definitely favor the fast bowlers. Moriada.
Rohit, is this a bowl fast wicket? Is the what Devashish just said? Is this a bowl fast wicket given all the green that you are seeing? Perth, yes, India won the toss, batted, but then came back. But is this one completely different in that sense, a bowl first wicket?
So as of now, if you see the weather here, it's completely a win the toss and bat first wicket. But on the game day, it will be a 60% precipitation. So as per by the weather websites and by the Met department here in Australia, it seems like that the day one of the test match will definitely have a rain or slightly overcast also. The grass, me and Shubhanda discussing this in the Hindi live. If they haven't put that much grass in the cover, I think it will be the similar case. As day one we saw, it's a completely green top, and after that on day two it will start turning a little red, and on the third day it was completely baked red. So as the day progresses on, and if the heat will be with similar intensity, I think it will be a day one to bat out for. But I think the day one weather report is slightly on the side, that if you are winning the toss on day one, and if it's overcast and cloudy, if it's raining a bit, so then you have to go for bowl first. Today, as of now, where we standing right now, it's definitely be a win the toss and bat first wicket.
So clearly, showing quite a few weather issues also coming into play, as all our reporters are saying. There was a comment from somebody, and one of our people, I think you said, Rohit yesterday said, Gargi also I think said, Ravindra Jadeja comes into the mix. Shubhan was saying he looks to be in a happy frame of mind, bowling, batting. Do you reckon, for a wicket like this where there's not much assistance for spin, but batting will be challenging? Should India look to a Ravindra Jadeja with really good record overseas in terms of his batting abilities?
Absolutely. I mean, Ravindra Jadeja should play, and you should, irrespective of conditions, you should always play your best players. Ravindra Jadeja is a world-class all-rounder in his own right. He should have played. He should have played in the first two tests also as the lone spinner, and now in at the Gabba, as because India don't have the batting to play four fast bowlers, don't have the batting depth, or rather don't have the batting form on current form. India can't play four fast bowlers. Ravindra Jadeja should be there. And as Debashish, Shubhan, and Rohit are saying that it's baking hot in Brisbane, which means thunderstorm, the typical Queensland thunderstorm, is round the corner, which is the Australian equivalent of our nor'wester. So it could well be the case. This game, I mean, if it is baking hot, there is a chance of this game being interrupted by thunderstorms and elements. But that aside, Ravindra Jadeja absolutely should play.
Gagi, Jadeja, Washington, Sundar, Ashwin.
Very difficult to choose from the three. And Ashwin and Washington give you a very similar kind of bowling as well. Both very tall, and uh, uh, give you that height from the release in the height. Sorry, the height in the release. And when we talk about Jadeja, I think the biggest positive to Jadeja is of course the batting. And in a test like this, I think for Gabba especially, I think I agree with Shomik when we say that Jadeja should come in, because if you're going with four fast bowlers, you need as much batting in the team as possible. And if there's anyone who can do it, I think it's Jadeja.
Bharat also joins us. Bharat, the report from our reporters weather-wise, baking hot, extremely hot. I mean, look at them. Shubhan and Rohit, I was watching a bit of their Hindi live also. They were saying it's very, very hot. Devashish just said at the top of the show that he had a chocolate which he could not even eat. The chocolate sort of it just melt. The chocolate melt because of the weather.
After recording every 3 minutes, every other 3 minutes, the phone is getting so hot that it has started to hang. It is stopping. It's a real struggle. We are getting drained out completely. Plus, they don't have any water here.
Yeah, clearly it's quite how do I put it, bad weather conditions for work, so for cricket as well. If that is the kind of build up, Bharat, if that is the kind of build up, what impact could that have on the wicket? Is that a reason for the extra grass, that they'll kind of hold the wicket together?
I
What
have sent a fresh video of the wicket as well in the group. After it has been trimmed in the afternoon phase, you can play that video as well.
Gargi, just play that video as you can. I mean, just get hold of that. But Bharat, your thoughts on, will that impact team selection as well?
See, whether if it obviously rains, then it will affect could affect the team selection, because that could bring moisture into play. If there's too much humidity at some point, you expect some kind of thunderstorm or rain. But as far as the grass is concerned, one has already noted over the last 3 seasons, Sanders has left more grass at the Gabba. It's something that one has seen not just at the Gabba, even at other Australian venues or Test cricket, that they seem to leave a little more grass. But I still expect, as Subain said, they were trimming. So expect a little bit of trimming at least today and maybe tomorrow. So, but still you expect a fair amount of grass. But as the weather is concerned at the Gabba, you get this humid subtropical region. So with those kind of conditions, sometimes
Bharat, when we came in the morning, it was lush green. It felt like we seeing a park, a green park. But now, as I am looking at the wicket, we can see a bit of the brownish texture of the pitch, which is the soil. So yes, this is a visual. As you can also see, we can slightly see the brownish tinge come out after a round of trimming.
yeah, 99% of the curators
Bharat, 1 second. Akka Chobi call Shubhan, just take a photograph and send it right away. Exactly now how you are seeing it. Take a photo and zoom in and send it. Yeah, Bharat, go.
Yeah, 99% of the curators tend to trim it for test cricket. That obviously finally depends on how much you want to trim, but still expect some grass on the wickets, because that has been the case over the last 3 seasons at the Gabba.
Yeah, Devashish, 200 is basically the score that you have seen at Brisbane in the first innings. So somehow, whichever team bats first gets to 250, 300 could be a winning score against a fragile batting lineup. I'll ask Rohit the same question, but you go first.
Yeah, obviously, winning the toss and batting first is a bold move, I would say. It will be a bold move and a positive move at the same time. But if the conditions are overcast, will the captains from both sides, Pat Cummins and Rohit Sharma, will take a chance and bat first? Because with the conditions, with so much of grass left on it, and with the conditions overcast, would you risk not bowling fast? Because therein lies the best possibility of you making in early inroads and bundling the opposition batting out for a low total. So I think if the conditions are overcast, then if the captain should easily decide to bowl first, because then it becomes, means obviously, then if you bowl out the opposition for under 200, then and go on to score up in excess of a lead of 150, 170, the match is half won, as was the case in Adelaide. The match Australia won, we won 57 runs lead. It was almost done. So I think if the team that wins toss and if the conditions are overcast, they will have no doubts whatsoever in opting to bowl fast and bundling the opposition batting for as low a total as they can.
So let's ask the second question now. The first one was the second question is Akash Deep or Harshit. I was speaking to our reporters individually, and a lot of them reckon it is Akash Deep over Harshit. I will start with Rohit Juglan. Before that, somebody says Devashish Sen is an underrated journalist. Who is underrating him? He's just got a promotion. I mean, he's one of our superstars. Look at him, how much he travels. He only has chocolate that's different. I will not let him have after I reach. But all of us, everybody calls him a rock star. Rohit Juglan, take that. Akash Deep or Harshit Rana?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely not Harshit Rana. They are I think planning between Prasidh Krishna or Akash Deep. Akash Deep is again, as I was mentioning earlier, that on the game day, the day one, it will be overcast. It will be raining. There is a good precipitation chance. So if it's any kind of slightliest of any help in the wicket, I'll definitely go with Akash Deep. If there's any kind of movement we can see with that Kukubura, in his hand, Siraj and Bumrah mostly do the damage with the new ball. But I think if you want any of your other bowlers to do it with maybe a 15-year-old ball or 15 over old ball, or 20 over old ball, or something in the later part of the innings, I think Akash has done a lot with the SG ball in the subcontinent. I've seen him moving that ball, 39 over old ball, 40 over old ball, moving that. Here also, he was being the most impressive one as far as the simulation is going on. After that, the first game practice is going on. Ping ball, with ping ball, he was definitely your number one bowler after Jasprit Bumrah. So here also, today also, he bowled really good, long spells, good spells. I think Buryada, there are a little positions where this team has to decide that what will be their playing combination. I think they are still struggling with, will Rohit Sharma open or will Rohit Sharma come at 5 or 6? And I think it's a problem. If your captain is still making his mind, it has to do with his form. That he is, it's completely my observation. I'm not saying that each and every one of us feeling the same. My colleagues have a totally different opinion, as per them what they are seeing. But this is according to me, that Rohit for me is still deciding whether he want to play that new ball or whether he want to come at number 6. I think they are still deciding on their spinners also, and this one fast bowler, whether it will be Prasidh Krishna or Akash Deep. I think there is still very much confusion in this 3 particular slots, Bureda.
Shomik, this is the question that I'm asking, and we still don't have a conclusive answer. I mean, Harshit or Akashdeep, Rohit Juglan is of the opinion that it is likely to be Akashdeep. Shubhan also said in one of our shows, so did Devashish, in the morning, that Akashdeep was bowling really, really well in the nets. What would you do, Shomik? Green track, Gabba, historically hit the deck, etc. But Akashdeep or Harshit Rana?
I mean, Indian team
Or
management
even
would be
Prasidh
remiss.
Krishna?
Indian team management would be remiss of not giving Akashdeep a game at the Gabba. Uh, Maybe he should have played in Adelaide also, but then again, it was a tough call given Harshit bowled well in the past test and deserved another go. Harshit in the past test didn't have to bowl long spells. When he had to bowl long spells in the second test, he was losing his team. He was losing his pace towards his later spells. Akashdeep, I as far as I'm concerned, Akashdeep should play. Rashid Krishna, I'm not too sure about will he play, because he has a tendency to bowl far too many boundary balls. He is one bowler who can release the pressure, and I'm not too convinced about. Personally, I'm not too convinced about Rashid Krishna as a test bowler. Now he is good in first class cricket, but as a test bowler, I'm not too convinced. But I have a question. I have a bigger question for our reporters, for our men in Australia, and they have been watching the nets. Is Jasprit Bumrah fully fit? How did he look at the nets? Because is there anything more to that groin niggle in Adelaide? Because when he bowled that one over in the second innings in Adelaide, he maybe the game was already done and he was just going through the motion. He didn't look at his 100%, so they can give us a clearer lowdown.
Hey, yellow
No
problem,
doubt, no.
Shomik. This is the problem of sleeping late. I asked exactly this question in the morning. You did
Oh,
not
okay,
wake up. I
okay,
He's
asked
fit
okay.
and
I'm so
fine.
exactly the
He's
sorry.
same
fit and fine.
question.
No, no, no. No
Uh, uh,
problems,
Yeah,
I'm
no
so
sure.
worries
sorry.
around his fitness.
I'm so sorry. I
I
apologize.
think he's
It's,
only
it's
the
fine.
one
It's
bowler
fine.
who
We
bowled, I
are
think,
all pulling
most
your leg,
today.
Shobik. It's fine.
No need, no
Now,
need,
Shiva,
no need to be sorry. Man City lost against you. You would be a happy man.
Yes,
ah,
yes,
correct,
yes,
correct,
yes.
correct.
But we will lose again tonight. So I'm not reading into anything to other teams' results now.
Acha, Shubha, I'm asking you the same question before I ask Gargi and Bharat to close this part of the segment. What is your take from having watched the Nets? Harshit Rana, Prasidh Krishna, Akashdeep.
I still have a gut feeling. The for whatever I have watched, Gautam Gambhir as IPL mentor, IPL coach, now India coach. I think they will persist with Harshit Rana. I don't think they will drop him just after a one odd game, which was against the pink ball. Pink ball. Harshit does not have any experience. It was his first taste with the pink ball. So I think that was an aberration, and they will treat. They will hope that that was an aberration, and I think Harshit, they will still go with Harshit in this game. And see, Akash has been bowling magnificently, and he deserves a chance. And I'll be very happy if he gets a nod and a green signal to be part of the playing 11 here. But I still feel that Harshit Rana in this kind of wicket with this kind of grass, I think will be a pretty handful bowler to have. And he did not bowl a lot today. He bowled for 20-25 minutes out of Siraj, Akashdeep, Bumrah. I think Harshit bowled the least, and that also gives you a hint that they might be telling Harshit to preserve his energy for the match. And he's an effort bowler. He bowls with a lot of effort. Hitting the deck is not an easy skill. It involves a lot of back bending. It involves a lot of effort from your shoulder, from your wrist. If he has a wrist snap, then it involves a lot of endurance from your wrist as well. So I think they wanted to preserve Harshit's energy in this session, and it was very hot as well. So I still have that gut feeling that India will go for Harshit Rana, but I won't be surprised if they pick Akashdeep ahead of Harshit in this game. But having said that, I still feel Harshit has a lot to offer and will have a lot to offer, especially if India bowl first and get the fresh Gaba wicket to get a go at the Aussie batters.
That's a good point, Bharat, about workload management, that you are not pushing Harshit too much. Match day -2. Bharat Arun had said this to me, that you don't push the bowlers match day -1 or 2, protect them, preserve them. You don't learn too much in the last 2 days. This is something he has been continuously advocating, using sports science examples. Where do you stand on this, Bharat Ramraj?
Boyer, before Bharat takes over, my phone is getting will get switched off, so I'll go.
Yeah, I agree with that. See, someone like Harshit Rana, he's hit the deck fast bowler. When it comes to hit the deck fast bowler, you snap your back a lot more because of that. It exerts a lot more stress on your body. So it somehow felt like maybe in the first innings in Adelaide, that Harshit Rana was struggling a little bit in terms of trying to hit the deck. He was not getting that kind of, what can you say, heavy ball. He was not able to bowl that heavy ball high up on the splice. Maybe he was struggling a little, maybe a little bit in terms of fitness. But I would kind of agree with him that perhaps it's better to again give another chance to someone like Harshit Rana. He's lots of potential. He's youngsters. He won innings. He won the grades of the game. Someone like Cutley Ambrose gave away 0 for 107 in his first test, and Glenn McGrath struggled at the Gabba 94. Dale Steyn at the Wanderers, or Jimmy Anderson at Edgbaston struggled against South Africa. So all grades of the game. Shane Warne have struggled. So Harshit Rana struggled in one innings. It's perhaps not right to completely shut down the door on him. So maybe the selectors or the selectors there with the Indian team, that is obviously the coaches, the think tank, and the captain. They can perhaps look at Harshit Rana again, because at the Gabba or Perth, you would want one of those tall fast bowlers. But yeah, if he's not 100% there in terms of fitness, then look at Akashdeep, because with grass on the pitch, then definitely he will get some movement of the deck, because he's going to hit the seam again and again, time and again. Just wanted to add a point on him talking about phone heating up. This happened to me in Dubai as well. Phone heated up so much that for some 20-25 minutes I couldn't switch on again. So yeah, I can understand what exactly could be happening to his phone.
So there is a lesson here. We must carry some spare phones to hand over to the team, and also to to use, because Melbourne will be 40 degrees at one point in time and 13 in the other. And that's how Melbourne is, four different climates in one day. Uh, who's saying this? Let's go to Gargi on this. Gargi, I'll take your comment on Harshit versus Akashdeep, and then start with you and go the reverse way for my question number 3 or 4. So where do you stand on this? Prasid Krishna, too risky, says some people. Akashdeep versus Harshit Rana, big call for India, because if the third pacer is a relative weak link, as it happened in Adelaide, it becomes a massive problem for Siraj and Bumrah. Gargi.
I think there are two debates here. One is Prasid versus Akashdeep, where I think Akashdeep comes forward. Then the other is, of course, Harshit and Akashdeep. Now, when we talk about Akashdeep, he's kind of, when you think about it, he's the ideal on paper bowler. He can generate that seam movement. He's got that control over his line and length. And from what we've been hearing from our reporters as well, that he's performing brilliantly in the nets. But at the same time, I think Shubhayan and Bharat summed it up perfectly, that the management just might go for Harshit Rana, and I would personally as well go for Harshit Rana here, because I think already Shubhayan and Bharat talked about the technicalities of it, of why Harshit should go first. But I would add another point to that is what Harshit did on the field with his confidence, with his aggression. I think that did a lot of damage to an Australia that was underconfident at the time. And it may seem like it doesn't do a lot of difference, but it does. When you're on the field for hours on an end, that sort of little bit of aggression, little bit of motivation does a lot to your players, does a lot against the batters as well. So I think in that sense, Harshit right now is still the better bowler, not the better bowler, but the better option for Gabba.
Super chat from International 3191. Devashish Sen, would you drop Nitish and go for Jadeja plus 4 pacers?
Question doesn't even arise. Someone who has performed so well in the last 3 innings, how can you even think about dropping? He comes, and especially he was a revelation in those 3 innings. Means taking the attack to the opposition, he played so positively. How can you even think about dropping him? It is Rana. I don't think so. Means obviously, if there is one player who seems certain to keep his place, it has to be Nitish Rana, along with Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Jadeja, and Rishabh Pant. I mean, he has been a very positive guy. Means something who has looked very very confident. Means it's clearly the most confident player on this trip so far.
Devashish went Nitish Reddy, not Rana, so that's just a slip of tongue. I mean,
Nitish Reddy.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, Nitish Reddy, everybody understood. I mean, it's a slip of tongue, so that's no big deal. Rohit, question to you. Rohit Sharma has been under so much pressure. Yes, Rohit says no social media, no nothing, thick skin, all of that. But is this one of the most important test matches as captain that he will be playing? With so many questions being asked, bad form, 1-1 series, Border Gavaskar Trophy, WTC, everything on the line. Is this one of the most difficult test matches that he will be playing as skipper and batter? Rohit Juglan?
I think Boreda, that's the best part of it, that he's not thinking it like this. If you see Rohit Sharma, the personality, he was not looking under any kind of pressure. He was just talking to players. He was just talking to media also. He was just having a word with media the other day in the Adelaide. He was just saying to us that, let me see it from your point of view, where you are getting the game from. Are you comfortably watching the players in nets? So, when a captain is under immense pressure, he don't do these kind of stuff, talking to each and everyone with a, gaga over it, and just having a laugh, just having a ball. So walking with journalists from ground to hotel, when you're under pressure, you often don't do this, in if you see, other captains also, other players also. But with Rohit Sharma, when you see the personality, you see the confidence in him. You are watching him as someone who's same, who's very similar what he does, in the way he go, the way he talks, the way he behaves socially, the way he's talking to each and every one of us, the way he's behaving with the players, his words with Gautam Gambhir. It's almost very similar to a Rohit Sharma who's just won a World Cup. It's very close. It's the time when he was going for the bat. When he was batting, at that point of time, you can easily make out that he's not comfortable. He's under pressure. He's not able to middle 10 balls, 8 balls out of 10 balls, 6 balls out of 10 balls. If he's facing 6 balls, there are 2, 3 balls which are taking the edges, which getting him on the pads,
Rohit,
which
just 1 second before my phone switches off. I just came to give a thumbs up to Rohit for his news on Mohammed Shami. Undecided and is very unlikely to travel here in Australia for the rest of the two matches in Melbourne and Sydney.
No, no, there is no chance of him traveling. You were talking about Mohammed Shami, right?
Yeah.
Because we lost you there.
He's not traveling for the rest of the two matches.
His phone is acting up. I've just done a column saying Mohammed Shami is not coming to Australia. Anyway, we'll come back to Mohammed Shami. But Mohammed Shami is not coming to Australia.
Yeah.
But
So Borida, what we are seeing Rohit Sharma in the field, when he was batting at that point of time, the major question is rising. That is he the same Rohit Sharma we know? Is he the same Rohit Sharma who can destroy Australian batting lineup? And as I was saying it to you, he was playing the old ball, he was going for the new ball, he was playing, match simulations with different batters. Yashashvi is not doing any of these things. Yashashvi is very particular about his practice sessions. Shubman Gill is very particular about his practice sessions. Virat Kohli is very particular about practice session. Why I'm saying this, that Rohit Sharma is still not sure whether he want to open the innings, whether he want to come at number 6, is just because the way he is operating in the nets. Post nets, if you see him like a personality, you will say, "अरे कुछ नहीं हुआ है." He's the same Rohit Sharma. मैं तो ऐसे ही जानता हूँ इसको, ऐसे ही कवर किया है, covered him. That's the only thing which you can say for Rohit Sharma post nets. But when he was batting, there's the main question. There's the uncomfortability. You can easily watch it in his eyes, in his defense while he was going for the shots. So there's the point, Burida.
Gargi, this is it, right? Self-doubt. Every major achiever in his or her life has gone through self-doubt. Take Olympic sport. Michael Phelps has. Take Usain Bolt has. Sachin Tendulkar has. Roger Federer has. Rafael Nadal has. Novak Djokovic has. Rohit Sharma is. What is new? This is what international sport is. It will ask you questions. It will ask you enormous number of questions, and the only difference is each one of us face self-doubt. Ours is in a private domain. This is in front of millions of people watching out in a public domain. Rohit Sharma has to deal with this self-doubt. Gargi Rao.
Absolutely. Like I said in the morning as well, that leading up to the Gabba test, as many practice sessions as Rohit Sharma has, he has to work on getting his confidence back. And, in sports, I think sometimes your techniques don't work unless you don't have confidence. You could do anything in the world. You could bat 8 hours in the nets, but if you don't have the confidence, you don't have the self belief, it might not work for you. The biggest, I think, the biggest example here is Rishabh Pant. How can you explain his technical can you explain how he bats? No, but he has confidence, and that's why he's successful in what he does. So that's the point I'm trying to make when it comes to Rohit Sharma, is that unless and until he has that self belief back, unless and until he has that Rohit Sharma that we've seen, we've loved, and we've loved to watch as well, until he has that back, until he has that confidence back, nothing is going to work for him.
Coming to the Mohammed Shami point, I'll go to Shomik, Devashish, Bharat on this, and of course Rohit, because he and I have been talking about it. From what we've been saying on the platform, Mohammed Shami's only option to go to Australia was if India lose Brisbane very badly. But now that option is also not there. I've just done a column where I've said Mohammed Shami is not going, and two tournaments in front, Champions Trophy, England Series. Will India look at Mohammed Shami, or will it be that Mohammed Shami is now, the best of Mohammed Shami is available on a rewind button on social media? Shomik Chakraborty, one of the best red ball bowlers that we've seen, one of the best red ball bowlers. But is it time, or because of this bad injury, that is it now becoming apparent that you will look to the next in line and Mohammed Shami is not going to be part of this setup? Shomik Chakraborty.
Indian cricket will have to deal with life without Mohammed Shami going ahead. I mean, first of all, someone who is, Shami has bowled 28 overs in the Shahid Mustaq Ali Trophy. I was just looking into some stats. He bowled 28 overs. And after the tournament, he straight away headed back to NCA. Right. So the fact of the matter is that, and there have been reports, and you have spoken to people, I have spoken to people, how after certain overs he was developing some swelling on his knee. So the fact of the matter is that, and he was losing his pace. That I was told also. He was losing his pace. He was not bowling at full tilt, in the sense he was not hitting. He was not hitting 90 miles per hour or 88 miles per hour. But I have. And given his age, Indian cricket will have to will have to live with the fact that Mohammed Shami is at the has ended his career, international career has entered the twilight zone. Maybe in white ball cricket, okay, but red ball cricket, can his body take the rigors of red ball cricket going ahead? I'm not too sure. Given that today it is the swelling knee, the other day it's a side strain, something or the other is creeping up, and that's the sign that it is going towards. He is going towards the autumn of his career, and as you have rightly written that, as it looks like, Shami is not going to go to Australia. Simple as that.
Bharat Ramraj, you watched him yesterday. Tell us firsthand, does he look the part? He did not to me. I spoke to about 7, 8 people. He's not going to Australia. I don't think he's going to make England either. Maybe Champions Trophy, red ball 10 overs, he can. White ball 10 overs, he can. But red ball, Mohammed Shami, new WTC cycle, very unlikely for me. Bharat Ramraj?
Yeah, I wrote on Ref Sports only via a couple of tweets and wrote a copy that in the first 3 overs, he looked very labored at the crease. If I want to extend that point, his strides were quite confident, but his problems perhaps came down to the fact that when his back foot landed, and then obviously his front foot contact, and then the follow through, that is when he seemed to be losing momentum. And that at the space, I even wrote a tweet on Ref Sports Global that his pace seemed to be around 80, 82 miles per hour, around that pace in his first 3 overs. But if you want a flicker of hope, that fourth over, maybe because the crowd started chanting Shami Bhai, or maybe his ego was hurt a bit because the domestic batters were going after him. Suddenly his pace ramped up in the last over of that particular spell, where it seemed like he was touching around 140 kilometers per hour. That is when he bowled 3 Yorkers and got a couple of wickets. But one can't base it on one single over, thinking that this is how Shami would bowl over 18 or 20 overs in a test match. So I think that's the problem. Occasionally he's ramping up his pace. But if you consider the overall picture, then the first 3 overs, it was a labored kind of effort when he was striving for more pace. But because of that, he was drifting down the leg side, bowling a lot of wide. So yeah, the first 3 overs were quite modest, but the fourth over, yes, at least he looked the part.
Rohit Juglan, even in the fourth over, he picked up 2 back-to-back wickets, but one was from a full toss. And the previous over, he got tonked around where the rank leg side ball flicked over fine leg for 6, one pulls for 6. Is this the end of Mohammed Shami in red ball cricket, Rohit Juglan?
Burada, what I am getting to know is it's not only about red ball. It's I think coming towards the white ball also. I don't think that there are much plans for him in white ball also. I'm not saying it with very much assurity, but what my sources are telling me that team want to pump in some young bowlers, young fast bowlers. They are working hard with some really good talent in NCA. There is a very high chance of taking Mayank Yadav to Border Gavaskar Trophy also, but at the very last moment he got some, I think, side strain problem, or there were some problems at that point of time. In overall context, Buryada, there is very less chance that we can see Mohammed Shami in white ball cricket in in near future. I'm not denying the fact that it's going to be now some new bowlers, who BCCI really want, who the chairman selector and the selection committee recently want to get into the Indian team. And there are multiple bowlers. In white ball you have Bumrah, in white ball you have Arshdeep. Now in white balls you want to add some more bowlers also. So yes, Shami was brilliant. 2019 World Cup, 23 World Cup. In past few years, he was brilliant with the white ball. In IPL also, he did really well in one of the seasons where Gujarat were, I think, the champions. But I think Bureda in near future, I'm not seeing Mohammed Shami in white ball major tournaments also.
Shujal Mishra, Prasid Krishna question has been answered, my friend. Devashish Sen, Mohammed Shami as well as all of us will be sad if he bows out like this, because that last World Cup was so good. He wanted to desperately make a comeback, play for India. If this is the way an injury kind of brings his career to an end, international career that is, it'll be a really, really unfortunate one. Devashish Sen.
Yeah, absolutely. But then this is how a life of a sportsman is. Means if he is performing, then he should always play. But if he is not, then he should make way. Means rather than him being carried on, means the people asking him when will he retire. It's better off that you decide and say, yeah, okay, I am not 100% fit, so I would like to call it a day, and that will be a great, big, huge statement, and that itself will lift the image of Mohammad Shami, the bowler he has been. He has a great servant for Indian cricket over the years in all formats, and he can go out on a high. Means obviously people will not question him that he has he has not taken a decision as far as his retirement is concerned. I am not really don't know from sitting here in Australia what exactly the situation is, but it's always best for a sportsman to go out on a high rather than being questioned that you are deliberately wanting to play for the country, just one opportunity or one opportunity. See, you might make way for youngsters, someone like a Akash or a Prasid Krishna or a Mukesh Kumar. You have two play bowlers from Bengal, Mukesh Kumar and Akash who has done really, really well. They are part of this Indian setup in Australia. Akash has done really, really well in the nets. Mukesh has also looked good. So it's better off to go out on a high.
A lot of people saying कोटा रोहित शर्मा politics यार simple सा चीज है. अगर मुश्ताक अली खेलने के बाद somebody has to go back to NCA straight up, there is an issue. Where is conspiracy theory coming into this? There is no conspiracy theory whatsoever. All of us want to see Mohammed Shami. Unfortunately, his body is not kind of responding anymore. Hopefully he makes a comeback against all odds. We love such comebacks, but it is not looking likely, is what I can tell you. Shomik says the same. Rohit said the same, but yeah, we've got to wait and see. But seems unlikely at this point in time. Final question, final round of questions. I've got to close the show. 5 o'clock, we will come back again with our live. And by the way, no update whatsoever on Champions Trophy. If there is, we will give it to you, because Pakistan's stalemate Jai Shah is in is in Brisbane. If our guys are able to catch up, get to know something, we will put it out. 5 o'clock, we will try and get you more updates. But at this point, final closing comments from everyone. Gargi, your favorite Mohammed Shami performance, 2023 World Cup?
Who can ever forget that World Cup? I mean, I don't think. I mean, I'm failing to recall one particular moment, because that entire tournament was, I think, one of the most blockbuster performances from Mohammed Shami. So I think that will, in all Indian team fans' memories, that will live for a long, long time.
Bharat Ramraj, one of the stars of Indian red ball cricket, but Mohammed Shami will be also remembered for that South Africa Test match, winning it for India. His white ball, one of the better bowlers, one of the best all-time bowlers, you reckon, in red ball at least. Frame has frozen. Shomik, take that same question.
The thing is that, I mean, there are many performances. I would go back to 2015 World Cup when he took injections. He played through pain and, I mean, walked the extra mile. I mean, to make his presence felt. So that was excellent resolve and character. There was a home series against England. I covered all 5 tests of that series. You remember that, right? So that was one. I will, but unfortunately, I will apologies to Mohammed Shami fans. If I have to make an all-time 11, India 11, Shami will not be in the list of my 3 fast bowlers because that would be Bumrah, Kapil Dev, and Zahid Khan. Shami is just that. I mean, Shami is a fantastic bowler. He has got a fantastic career in his own right, but he will not be the 3 fast bowlers in my all-time India 11.
Bharat Ramraj, 30 seconds. I'll close with Devashish and Rohit.
Yeah, I think if I have to think of a memory of Mohammed Shami, I guess I have to go back to that Vizag test on November 2016, when he bowled that cracker of a in swinger, I guess, to Alistair Cook and cleaned him up. That is the one dismissal I really remember, because I looked at the scene presentation. It was absolutely perfect. And obviously, in white ball cricket, I would think about again maybe that spell against England in the last year's World Cup, when he bowled that. When he bowled those crackerjack Delbris to Barstow, Ben Stokes, and all these guys. As far as test lineup is concerned, I think, in my opinion, is India's second best fast bowler after Jasprit Bumrah. That is, in terms of fast bowling, obviously Kapil Dev is a better cricketer when you consider his all-round skills. With great respect to Zahid Khan, averaged 33 in test cricket, so I won't have him in my top 3 as far as Indian pace bowlers are concerned.
Devashish sir.
What is obviously when you talk about Shami in white ball format, I would say that his hat trick against Afghanistan, that the World Cup match, 2019 World Cup match in Southampton, means obviously Afghanistan looked set to win that match, but Shami single-handedly turned the tide in India's favor, and when in India went on to win that match. And as far as Shami's overseas performance, I would still rate him that 2018-19 series which I covered, India's first Test series win down under, along with Jasprit Bumrah. Shami was by far the best. Means together with Bumrah and Shami, it was possible for India to go on to win the first ever Test series in Australia.
Okay, Rohit Juglan, final words. I know, but before that, some website which tried to do this with Mr. Gavaskar has now tried with Rohit's name, saying Rohit's written something on Rohit Sharma to step down, etc. As his editor, it is my job to clarify that nothing like that whatsoever has been said by him, will be said by him, has been said by him in any platform. People are posting it on social media, and we take responsibility in rubbishing it. And this website needs to get a stiff legal note. It will come their way, and if need be, I'll make sure that we take them down. They tried it with Mr. Gavaskar. I think they also tried it with Vikrant. Now they're trying it with Rohit. So clearly, this is an attempt by these idiots to get some mileage. But it is important that you condemn such nonsense, which we are. And I'm way used to such trolls and such idiots. So I'll make sure we take them down. But Rohit, if you want to respond, the platform's yours. Please go ahead.
No, I already did, Boyada, because they, I think, definitely want us to respond. That's why they are doing it. So I did one tweet that it's fake. After that, they were kept on writing something. So I came to know that they just want this also, that I write something, they write something, I write something, and that in that way it take. And now few of the from media people sending me this. That's why I told this to you, that maybe someone sent this to you, and then suddenly so that's why I bring this out in your notice, and in all our viewers notice that it was a complete rubbish report. It's a fake report, and I personally, they used my photo also, and after that they removed my photo, and then they said that we had a junior reporter, Rohit Juglan, with us, and he was writing for us. So yeah, rubbish report, Boyada. But yeah,
but you're an elite company. You're an elite company. Sunil Gavaskar and then Rohit Juglan, not bad. I'll leave it at that. Sunil Gavaskar के बाद आप, you're an elite company. सनी भाई के बाद आप सनी भाई वहीं पे हैं, आप जाके मिल लो और बोलो कि बोरिया ने बोला है कि सनी भाई आपके बाद
one day day one of the Adelaide test, he had some script with Channel 7, and he was telling तेरा हिंदी अच्छा है, तू मेरे को थोड़ा सा बता, इसको क्या मैं बोलूं, महासंग्राम बोलूं कि महासमर बोलूं. So I was helping him, and then this thing came up there, that there was some article from this website. How would I know कि 3 दिन बाद मैं भी इसका शिकार हो जाऊंगा? So I
मैं बोल
didn't
रहा
knew
हूँ ना,
at
you
that.
are in elite company. It's good. It's good. Clearly, you are being known. Your work is being noticed. See, I have always said this. The world doesn't have place for mediocrity. Only because your work is being noticed are you being trolled. And this is how I have always told myself when 100,000 tweets were being done against me, that I matter and I will matter. So will you, so will RevSport, so will all of us. If Gargi is being trolled, Shomik is being trolled, Bharat is being trolled, means you guys have done something worthwhile. On that note, I think it was a worthwhile show. We'll finish now, back at 5 p.m. Got to do a very, very interesting interview on football. For the Mohun Bagan fans, something fascinating awaits. Shomik Chakraborty, Gargi Raut, Rohit Juglan, Bharat Ramraj. Thank you very much for joining me at 5 p.m. back with news. Shomik, I need what is our friend Pakistan doing on Champions Trophy? Rohit, the same question for you. More important today is what is Gukesh Domaraju going to do in Singapore? Game number 14, World Championship on the line, 6.5 each. Ding Liren versus Gukesh Domaraju. Gukesh in black, Ding Liren in white. Fingers crossed for the young Indian prodigy. Shomik, you have the last words.
No, not about cricket. It's about Ding and Gukesh. And my prediction is, as a rank outsider, it would be a very long game, and eventually it will end in a draw, and the tie will head to a tiebreaker.
You don't want a tiebreak. You want Gukesh to win in black and script history and make it an absolute Indian evening tonight. Let's see what happens. But as far as badminton is concerned, Gayatri Gopichand and Teresa Jolly taking out Pearly Tan and Thina Muralitharan in the morning was the highlight of my morning. Incredible from the Indian duo, 21-19, 21-19 in the World Tour Finals. This is one team that has come of age. We'll keep an eye on that. But for the moment, thank you very much for watching.